Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. If it's your first time to the channel, welcome. We're so glad that you've joined us. So today we're doing your weekly tarot reading. This is good for the week of July 1st through the 7th, give or take a few days. We'll take a look first at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll go to the tarot for more details about, any obstacles that might be on your path, any blocks you might be having at this time, and of course advice from spirit. And if this reading is resonating with you, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. It does help to get my message out to more people. Okay, so let's jump into it. Let's see what this week ahead has in store for you. Oh my goodness. First card out, Wondrous Universe, a walk in beauty. Really kind of interesting. I have no idea, because to me this is more of the Hierophant or even Hermit type of energy, but I'm hearing Libra energy, and Libra is very much about beauty, creativity, that divine feminine side of ourselves, where we kind of like, Libras have that beautiful energy of just thinking magical, that everything can land in a perfect balance, because they're all about balance. So I don't know, you may be dealing with a Libra, you may have some Libra in your chart, but either way, this is just an energy of things falling into, and I'm going to say a sense of balance, like things are finally kind of balancing out for you. What a beautiful energy. And then we have Frog Spirit, clear out the clutter. Okay, so if you're kind of like, okay, I'm not getting this sense of balance in my life, it is about allowing yourself to clear out any of the clutter, either in your environment, okay, so that could be in your home, in your office, your workspace, your car, right? All the places that we spend a lot of time. But it's also about clearing out those mindsets, especially anything that's a little bit on that negative side. Remember, the words that we use create the reality we are experiencing. And so using positive words are going to help you to create this beautiful, balanced energy in your life. So it's maybe a little bit of fine tuning some of the words that you're using, on a daily basis, either with your talk to yourself, your self-talk, or even, with other people. It is interesting, those little teeny tiny things that we say, like when somebody gives us a compliment and we kind of shrug it off, understanding that a compliment is a gift to us. And so that is something that somebody has put out for you, to you. And receiving the compliment is your part in that, and understanding that when we kind of like shrug off compliments, and I don't know why this is coming up, but if you're shrugging off compliments, or somebody giving you a smile on the street or something, Gemini, you are just so friendly. I'm sure you're smiling back, but understanding what little gifts am I getting from the universe that maybe I'm kind of like overshadowing, or just kind of like not appreciating as much as perhaps I possibly could. Maybe you're not negatively saying anything or rejecting compliments or something, but it is about accepting them. Sitting in this energy this week of accepting even the smallest little gifts that come onto your path. That's really beautiful energy. And then we have love your body, let your body radiate out. Yeah, see, there's something here about, I feel like maybe, part of the clutter is, I got that earlier, kind of like cleaning out your closet, are the things, the clothing items that are in your closet, do they bring you joy? It is that, energy of recognizing that if your clothes aren't bringing you joy, maybe it's time to clear out the clutter of things in your closet that don't bring you joy, and understand, okay, it's a new season, it's a new me. Jupiter is in your first house. It is that energy of how do I want, and it's there for the next year. It's really this energy of a makeover, right? What is it that is kind of frustrating me even in my closet or with my body? Are you taking good care of your body? That has been coming out quite a bit for you, Gemini, lately. Taking good care of your body and understanding that you are being called to see, is there some clutter in your diet? Is there some clutter in your mindset about exercise or getting your sleep, drinking your water? Understanding, okay, it's time to clear that out. I also want to point out it's the number 28, and 2 + 8 = 10. Is letting you know that you're at the end of a difficult cycle, and it's time to embrace the beautiful gifts that are coming onto your path, even if they're in the smallest little tidbit of a gift, right? A compliment, or somebody, a stranger smiling, recognizing you, just kind of like looking you in the eye and smiling. All of that is kind of this beautiful energy of saying, okay, I'm not going to shy away from that. I'm going to allow myself to open my heart and to receive the love, like loving yourself first. And Gemini, I think you've been working on that for a very long time, perhaps 10 years, right? So it's understanding you've been working on that, and now it's time to allow the universe, to allow other people to give back to you, okay, that energy of love that you have been creating for yourself. Yeah, this is beautiful energy. Okay, you're anxious about something, so we're going to take a look at that, because this is, you have the regeneration card again, okay? So this is Phoenix Rising energy. This is stepping into this beautiful energy. It can also be, like looking at patterns that are resurfacing, perhaps people or situations coming up this week that kind of like trigger you a little bit or remind you of something from the past. It does not mean that somebody from the past has to be returning, or a situation from the past, but there could be even the thought is like suddenly pops up in your mind, right? We do have the new moon in Gemini this week, so that is a beautiful energy. Really taking a look at that and seeing, because you have the Ace of Pentacles, there's something coming in, and the Ace of Pentacles represents a gift from the universe, okay? Something that's coming in, and it can be something small. It could be, you've been working on your body, right? You've been, exercising, you've been eating more nutritiously, you've been focusing on getting your sleep. Maybe you're not perfect, but you have been putting more effort into it. And then somebody in your life says, oh, you look more refreshed, or oh, you're looking really, good today, or something like that. Understanding that that is kind of the universe's way of saying, okay, Gemini, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. Right? And it's also that sense of, your spirit guides and angels just kind of smiling down on you. Look at, you have the sun on the bottom. This is sending you in a beautiful new direction. And I think for some of you, if it's been quite a while since you have felt like people have recognized you, maybe your boss acknowledging the hard work that you're putting in, right? Or, you've been working really hard on your yard. I've been working hard on my yard, and no, it's so funny because I was working, and I have, because I love to garden, so I have my flowers going and that type of thing. And not that I wanted or expected somebody to acknowledge the work that I was putting into my yard, but all of a sudden, like, I had a couple of people, neighbors, walking by and commenting about my yard, and it just kind of like, it's not that we want or we should do things in order to seek that validation, if you will, from other people, right? But also understanding that when those comments come, or compliments, or people just saying good job, right? It really does give us that encouragement to keep going. And here's the message that I'm getting, Gemini, is that it's also about you allowing yourself to perhaps share, okay? Put your arms out and share your compliments with other people, perhaps a little bit more than you have lately, Okay, so it's kind of like random acts of kindness, sharing your smile and your love with other people just by, acknowledging them. Eye contact is the best way to do that, right? I feel like there's something that is coming in for you because it's almost like you're sharing your light and love with other people and also accepting the light and love that you are receiving from other people. Yeah. Okay, so here we have the King of Wands, and I'll have to say, when I was shuffling, he kept kind of popping up. And we have the Ace of Wands and the High Priestess. Okay, so the High Priestess is, you're tuning in to your higher self, into your spirit guides and your angels. Because there's something here, you're getting inspired. I think that there is something that you are trying, a change that you are truly trying to make in your life. There's this energy of truly trying to make a change in your life. But I think you're a little bit disappointed because you feel like it's not being acknowledged by the universe in some way. But it's allowing yourself to kind of like focus on love instead of fear. Because one of the things you have is that you're kind of fearful. I'm going to skip kind of like to the advice. You have the Seven of Swords and you have anxiety. It's almost like, I feel like for some of you, you're feeling as if your efforts are not being recognized, but then you're also allowing that to kind of like sabotage your own efforts. So it is a little bit of that vicious cycle. So you could be trying to, or being asked this week to really kind of like, it's not about, and Gemini, I don't think it's like me with my yard, right? It wasn't that I wanted necessarily people to compliment my yard, even though I was working really hard on it, right? But at the same time, when someone did compliment my efforts, right, and commented on my efforts, it really did help me to realize how important my yard and the way my yard and my flowers and the butterflies and the birds that it attracts, right, is important to me. And focusing on that, but it is also allowing ourselves to recognize that when we share positivity with other people, it is a way to share our love and light. And once again, it's not living in that energy, because I've been there, where you only want other people to validate what you're doing, right? It's not about that, because Gemini, I don't feel like you're in that energy. But it is about recognizing that how the positive words that we use, not only with ourselves, but with other people in our world, can help to overcome our fears and anxieties about not connecting to other people. It's almost like, I read this once, be the first one to smile, be the first one to say hello, be the first one to say I love you, right? It's kind of like that energy of allowing yourself to overcome any of your fears. And thinking about that this week, when you're talking about your relationships with friends, with family, with coworkers, with strangers on the street. Can you be the first to share your loving light with other people instead of holding yourself back? I think you may, and it's so funny because if you didn't watch the July reading, I put that up on Wednesday and I'll have it at the end of this video. It was about a new romantic partner coming into your life, but it's also recognizing, are you shying away from new people, new opportunities to come into your life, right? You're kind of like shying away from it because you don't want to be the first to say hello, to smile, to say, I'd love to work for you, right? I'd love to have you as a client. I love your yard, right? It's kind of like understanding it's not about being inauthentic, right? It has to be sincere, and it has to be authentic. But at the same time, like allowing yourself to say, one of the ways that we can step out of our comfort zone is allowing ourselves to be the first. And here is the thing. Your present energy is that there is something that you do want to find a sense of victory in, okay? Truth be told, okay, I feel like there's something that you're working on at this time, whether that's in your career sector, your health sector, your environment, okay, your relationships. There's this sense of, yeah, when it gets down to it, I really want to be victorious in this. And part of it is surrendering to the journey, but also understanding that the more grateful you are for what's already showing up in your life, the more that will come your way. And, you know, with the moon card, it is about understanding you may not see the whole path. Are you asking yourself, are you not being the first one to smile, or the first one to say good morning, or the first one to say I love you, or the first one to show up in that energy of love in no matter what situation it is, because you're fearful of where will that go, right? Will I get a smile back? Will I get a good morning back? Or is somebody just going to shrug me off, right? And that could be from being in relationships or situations in the past where you could have been the first one to say good morning or hello or give a smile, right? And it wasn't reciprocated, unrequited love, right? And in different areas of your life, this is allowing you to say, okay, I'm going to go on this journey of allowing myself to be open to see the beauty in this world, to see the beauty in other people, to allow my positivity to shine, and also to receive in a positive energy, right? If I receive a compliment, right, it's not like just shrugging it off. It's kind of like, well, thank you, you know? I'm glad you're enjoying my garden. You know, it's like one of the reasons I love making my front yard look so pretty is because I feel like it is a little bit of a gift to my neighbors, right? And it's understanding that that's a gift. And then when somebody compliments or comments on it, that's a gift back. Right? It's reciprocal, because part of this is that there's something unfinished. I feel like for some of you, there is someone in your life that maybe was unrequited love. Okay. And because of that, you may have shied away a little bit from allowing yourself to be the first one. Right? It's kind of like, well, before I put myself out there, and it doesn't have to be in romance, right? Before I put myself out there, I want to know how I am going to be received. It takes a little bit of courage. This is asking you to step outside your comfort zone. This is saying, listen, the world is wonderful. And will everybody smile back? No. But if they don't smile back, just remind yourself, I am sharing my loving light with other people. And because of that, you know that you will be receiving back. Remember, give and receive. That is the ebb and flow, right? Give and receive. You want that beautiful balance of give and receive. Yeah. For some of you, I think there's a specific person in your life, okay? That, you know, this could be a boss. This could be a coworker, you know. What you don't understand, this is what I think is really coming clear to me. What you don't understand is that even if you're the first person to say good morning to that person and they don't reciprocate or they grumble or something like that, keeping your head high and knowing that you're shining your loving light, what you don't realize is that you are actually impacting other people with your positivity, even if it doesn't look like they are accepting, receiving your good morning. Hello, how are you? How was your weekend? Right? That type of energy. It's like, don't fret. There's something about don't fret, because being in that beautiful energy is helping for more beautiful things to come your way. More people that will be open and wanting to receive your love. Yeah, this is beautiful. I do feel like for some of you, you may have a King of Wands on coming your way. It's about being open to receiving this person, okay? And the King of Wands can represent, it can be a romantic partner, it can be a business partner, it can be just a really good friend, somebody that's on your path, somebody that's inspiring, motivating, a go-getter, okay? A benefactor, it can be a benefactor. So it's somebody that I feel like wants to come in. You have the Ace of Wands. This can be a new start. It can be a return. It can, in some cases, be a return of somebody that wants a fresh start with you. But either way, it's kind of like allowing yourself to open up to what is you are going to receive this week. So yeah, beautiful. Remember, you have a leg up. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Something new coming in that's inspiring you, okay? That's helping you to understand just what an integral part that you play in the universe. Your positivity, your loving light, your creativity are so important to the healing journey of so many other people. So allow yourself to surrender to this, to not allow the fears to hold you back from the victory that you are going to receive. Yeah, and keep in mind, you have the Sun card here too. Yeah, you have the blossoming, look at this. Okay, door to romance, blossoming abundance. Yeah, this is beautiful. It's about really getting, your core values. Third chakra is all about your core values. Who are you as a person? Who do you want to be remembered as? Keeping that in mind as you move forward this week. Do you want to be remembered as that positive person? And I don't mean you have to be a Pollyanna, right? It's kind of like, but positive, authentic, sincere, right? Not afraid to be the first to say hello, right? So do you want to be remembered as that? Or do you want to be remembered as the person that shies away from contact with other people or inspiring other people, or just putting yourself out there? This is the energy of you are the Phoenix rising. You are stepping into a new chapter. You're breaking any, I want to say like habits, mindsets that hold you back from being, in a way, being the King of Wands or attracting in a King of Wands. Really beautiful energy. All right, so let's take a look at your Soul Truth card. And Gemini, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Okay, and let's see what we have here. What boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? Okay, I feel like this is more of, I think you may have even gotten this card last week. I think this is more about, are you trusting yourself with your boundaries? So are you allowing yourself to put yourself out there, to step out of your comfort zone? Are you preventing yourself from stepping outside your comfort zone because you're concerned that your boundaries are not strengthened, right? Or you don't have strong boundaries, right? Or you haven't worked on that. I feel like you have worked on that, Gemini. There is this energy that you really have. But perhaps part of it is that you have allowed yourself to have a little bit too much of a wall. Okay, so when our heart gets broken, and there is this energy that you maybe had a broken heart at one time, right? And I feel like you have healed from that. You have done a lot of work. This is something, once again, that could be 8 to 10 years ago. So when that first initial heartbreak happens, we put up walls, okay? Because we have to go into that hermit energy. We have to allow ourselves to do some healing, reflection, right? Just allowing ourselves to pull away from other people will help us to heal, but we can't stay in that energy. And as we heal, the walls initially could have been made from cement, and then maybe, they're more from wood, and then all of a sudden they can become like a chain link fence, that they kind of like they can kind of like ebb and flow depending on the person or the situation, but they also become a little bit more flexible. But when we get to that point, sometimes we can, once we get to more flexible, okay, boundaries, it's because we've learned to trust ourselves. And it is a little bit of an energy of also trusting others. We can't trust others until we trust ourselves. So Gemini, this is asking you, are there some boundaries that you think need to be strengthened? It says to create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires, and feelings and believe we are worthy of them. In your relationships, it's essential to know where they end and where you begin, right? Where other people end and where you begin. I think this is a great week to really kind of break any kind of patterns that you might have in having really concrete boundaries. I'm going to say concrete walls, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to trust myself to say good morning to other people, to smile to strangers on the street, and not be emotionally taken back or have an emotional dip if nobody says hello back to me, right? I'm going to allow myself to stand in my beautiful light, to know that I am headed in the right direction, and that by allowing myself to make eye contact with people, to say good morning, to be the first to do it, right? It is also going to attract in this beautiful new companion, okay? And because if we have our eyes cast down and we're like, no, I'm not talking to anybody, here's my boundaries, don't try to cross them, right? It's because we don't trust ourselves enough to say, okay, this is my boundaries. I need for you to respect my needs, my wants, my desires. And you've done that, Gemini, so that you can step into a new relationship or into new relationships or situations. Because when we're kind of like hermited behind our boundaries, we can also cut off other people subconsciously. We're cutting off other people to prevent them from coming in. You can trust yourself, Gemini. You've done the work. You can trust yourself, and it's time to allow yourself, right, to really and truly trust the universe and start trusting other people too. Wow, beautiful energy there. All right, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. I am going to have your July career and money reading up on Wednesday, so please take a look for that, and I'll see you next Sunday for your next weekly reading. Bye for now. Have a wonderful week.